did you put sand down at
Yeah, now
all?
let me point that out, because again, you in previous videos you mentioned not putting a lot of sand on the crawl space floor because it creates moisture under the vapor barrier or under the encapsulation. So I didn't do it, you know, to cover anything up. But as we were working down there, that and it was during the early part of the year, so it's raining and that clay stayed extra moist. And it was like trying to walk with magnets on your feet. I mean, that clay just grips everything that touches it. So I took a light coating of just like play sand, and I just put enough on it that my feet wouldn't stick. And I wished I'd have thought of that long before I
Wow.
did it, because it was truly a chore just working around in that area. Now, that lower area where we ended up putting the decks was the worst of all when it comes to the soil being moist. The rest of it's damp, but it was the worst here, particularly before I got those trenches in. But by putting that light covering of sand on it, we were able to move around the sand, or excuse me, the soil. The clay didn't stick to the bottom of our shoes. That worked extremely well. But I did not cover the soil with the sand for the very reason you pointed out numerous times.
Well, as I mentioned off camera before we got started, I really hope you consider starting a franchise in your area, because that's the kind of out of the box thinking that I think would help all of us be better at our jobs. That was a great idea, putting that sand down to create that barrier that you're talking about. Because yeah, you're right. I mean, if you've ever gotten clay on those boots, you're done. You slip
Yeah.
and slide. Even when you get outside the crawl space, you have a hard time walking with that stuff on there. So
Yep. Yep.
that's wonderful. I'm going to jump just so you know that same picture. It looks like you have some and forgive me, I forget what they're called, but it's the starter of a deck, kind of like a block that you
Yeah.
use to put the decking on if you're going to build a deck outside. And the name escapes me, but it's like a deck post, foundation post or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, it escapes me as well. That was Roger's, my buddy's forte. Okay. But
So yeah,
I
now we're
think
going to
it's,
get into the cool crawl space part of the video. So I'm going to, as you're talking, I'm going to go through and show some of the encapsulation videos. But talk to us about, you encapsulated first, I can see, and then you started building the cool crawl space part. So please feel free to tell us about that.
okay. Yeah, we had to get that crawl space completed. We prepped for I'm going to just call it decking. We prepped for that. We removed the soil that was necessary. We put in all of the foundation blocks. Now, some of the framing for the decking could go right on a block that was sitting on the ground. It couldn't go on the soil now. Everything's above the encapsulation, but there were areas that we had to dig out and put in a block, and then those footers, for lack of a better term. But all of that wood, it obviously has to be dry. It cannot be touching the soil. So we put those in place, and that's when I went in and started with the encapsulation. Um, the encapsulation was pretty straightforward. I had a lot of debris under the house, as a lot of folks do. I had to clean that out. I actually took me a handheld rake, if you will, to groom the clay, because it was necessary to get those rocks out of there. You couldn't
Right.
just sweep them aside because they're embedded in that tacky clay. So we had to get all the debris out, and the rocks and the bottles and all that kind of stuff. Um, Now, we did encapsulate that lower area first so we could get that decking done. Once we got it done, that really helped me with the rest of the encapsulation, because I didn't have to climb up and down that unfinished ground, and it gave me a work area.
Right.
So once we got all those footers in, then we just started framing, and that went quite quickly. Again, my friend Roger brought over his table saw, and we cut all the wood, and it all came together. And that right there, now again, I would have done the encapsulation without the decking. The encapsulation was the project, but that decking gave me so much more usable dry storage space under that crawl space. Uh, for the money we had to spend on materials, it was more than worth it. Now, Rogers and my labor was worth about $20,000, I'll tell you that. But really,
Right.
I think it was more than that. But the materials involved just weren't that bad for the benefit that I get from that.
Now, I mean, are you an engineer? I just have to ask because
No,
your
sir.
attention to
I'm an automobile guy. I was a mechanic if you go back far enough, but no, not an engineer.
well, with your attention to detail, I mean, I love the hazard strip tape that you put there on there. I mean, that's just a great touch. I mean, it just, it's just amazing, and it looks like you use is that 1x6s? Is that right, or what was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
actual?
The decking is 1x6. I mean,
What?
the framing is any combination of boards, 2x4s, 4x8s. I mean, there was all kind of stuff involved there. But the decking was 1x6, and that was adequate, plenty of support. There's joist. I think they were on 4 foot. Again, see, I don't know that stuff. I think they were on 4 foot centers.
Right,
But
right.
anyway, it's very sturdy, very strong. It's permanent. That's not something that's going to be coming out of there.
Well, and it looks like some of your footers that you put down, the decking footers, you covered some of them in the vapor barrier, which, you know, for those of you that don't know, if you touch wood to cinder block that's touching the ground, it's supposed to be a pressure treated. So if you're going to create like the sill plate, for example, it's a pressure treated, it's like the only piece of pressure treated wood in the whole crawl space. And that's the wood that separates the block from the rest of the framing. So
Yep.
if you're going to do this, make sure that your decking posts, you use a pressure treated piece of wood, or you do like Dwellin did and you cover it with vapor barrier. Because if you did that, you could go either or, right? You could use what I call green wood or
Right.
non-pressure treated wood at that point. So I just want to point that out there. Don't go down there and just throw a bunch of wood on top of block, because it could absorb moisture because of the wicking aspect of the water through those block posts. So just got to be careful about that. But it looks amazing, Dwellin, just
Thank
absolutely amazing.
thank you.
And I tell you what, so how much usable, rough square footage wise, did you wind up getting out of this, do you think?
Oh wow. Well, you're going to ask me to guess now. There's probably 450 feet, maybe.
Wow.
Um, it's a lot. It is a lot. And it's funny you mentioned that safety tape. Yeah, I did that for my own self. I'm telling you. Uh, I, I have fallen even while we were building it. We had to take extreme care not to fall off of that thing. But it even provided a step down to the crawl space that's under the rest of the house.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's just a ton of space. It's amazing, particularly if you were under there and you saw it beforehand, and then you come back in and see it now. And I've had some folks that have had that opportunity, and their eyes get real big. It's amazing, and it'll be a selling feature. Quite frankly, my wife and I have moved a lot over the term of my career. I don't care if I ever move again until they move me into the final resting place. But it'll be a selling point, no doubt about it. And I didn't do it for that reason, but it will be a tremendous selling point, no question in my mind.
Well, and this is a question that we didn't discuss, but I'm just going to ask it for your permission. And if you say no, that's fine. But if it's okay with you, I would like to put your videos, or I'm sorry, your pictures on our website, so that
Sure.
way people can go and look at the detail of these instead of just having them on this video where they flash in front of them. So that way, if somebody, I mean, even your detail around the pillars and how you worked around the 4-inch sewer lines and things like that. All that is shown in your pictures, and I think it'd be really helpful to our viewers if they could kind of delve into that a little bit and look at that, if that's okay with you.
Sure, that's my pleasure. You go right
Well,
ahead.
thank you. I think this is great stuff. So, all right. Well, Dwellin, and I see you got your lawnmower down there, and you got all kinds of cool stuff down there. You made a little door opening cavity, so you got your tape. I mean, it's just, you even got stairs. Did you build the stairs, or did you buy those pre-built, or what?
Roger built those, Michael. Yeah, Nolan
Now, is
don't.
he a framer?
Yeah, that's my
Is
friend. Yeah.
is he a framer? Like, is that his profession or something? Or
Now he was a retired engineer that worked
ah,
in nuclear plants. Now he was a mechanical engineer, but this stuff's up his alley. Yeah, thank God for him. God sent me that man to help me with this project. I'll tell you.
so if you had to do it all over again, we spoke to an Air Force active duty military, and he said when he got done he wouldn't do it again if you paid him. So it seems like you almost enjoyed this project, though, don't you? Don't you
Yeah,
think?
I can easily say I would do it again. Now I would have done it differently. Now, I mean, I think the end result would have been the same. But listen, y'all, I told you before, your videos were invaluable and you go into a great amount of detail. But you just can't, until you do it yourself, it's hard to take 100% out of what's in a video. So I would do it a little bit differently. I think the way I laid it out in preparation, just like cutting the material, I might have done that a little bit different, but it worked out great. I had very little waste. Um, yeah, I'd do it again, particularly when I think about the money that I spent. And, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't point out to everyone, because we haven't discussed it. We also had to do foundation work on this house. We had to put in some ram jacks, to support the foundation. So unexpectedly, the wife and I had to drop a ton of money on these repairs.
Right.
So the ability, the opportunity to save some money on this crawl space encapsulation was a godsend. And like I said, your videos made it possible. I probably wouldn't have tackled this job without that benefit. I'll be very honest with you. So yeah, I'd do it again. Might do it a little bit differently, but yeah, I'd do it again.
That's great, and I got a picture of the ramjack post jack that they've got in there, and just to point out that a lot of companies will do foundation work before they dry out the crawl space, and I just want to again reiterate that foundation, the wood will grow or decrease as it gets dry and wet. So whenever you have foundation work done like you've done, it is super vital to make sure that the crawl space stays at a level humidity and a level wood moisture level, so that your floors aren't still moving even after foundation work. So it looks like they did a great job. Did you wind up getting any materials from our DIY store, or did you go other places for that?
I got quite a bit of materials from the DIY store, and I highly recommend it to anybody that's uh, contemplating tackling this task. Uh, Matter of fact, I think we got most of the things from the DIY store or DIY store. Sorry, there were a few things. The Dehu I didn't get from Crawlspace Ninja only because I didn't know you existed when I bought it. It just turned out I was lucky. I put that thing in there to start drying out the crawl space before we got serious about the encapsulation. So I did not know about the April air or those other things that you recommend. So I'm at least fortunate in that the dehumidifier I purchased is working good. It rarely runs now. And before the encapsulation, it ran 24/7, 365. I mean, it was what a tremendous difference. So your website, everything was there. It was easy to navigate. Your support folks there are wonderful. I mean, it was just a great experience. And I'll tell you what, I did not use the hammering tools to put in I don't even remember what you call them. I'd have loved to have done that. I just didn't do it because I couldn't do this. The way my schedule was, this took me about 2 months, maybe a little bit more. And I just couldn't get it all done in a relatively short period of time, which would allow me to rent those tools. But the fact that you rent them for people that can do that is wonderful, because that stuff ain't cheap.
Right, right. You're talking about the Hilti,
Yeah,
the GX3 and the DX5. So,
that's right.
what did you wind up doing? Did you drill and use Christmas tree fasteners?
That's exactly what I
That's
did.
right.
And again, that was one of the things you recommended. And it works exceptionally well. Of course, my finger's permanently bent back now from pushing
Yeah,
those.
yeah. Sometimes a rubber mallet helps with that too if you
Yeah.
have one
Well, that's
handy.
what I ended up using. It didn't take long to figure out I was going to have to come up with an alternative tool.
Yeah, after about the fifth one, you realize there's got to be a better way to do that, right?
That's
So,
right. That's right. But like I said, your DIY store was wonderful. Your staff was wonderful. If I had a question, it was just all great. You've been invaluable to me in getting this project done. So thank you so much.
well, Dwellin, thank you. I'm normally not an emotional person, but it really does mean a lot. It sometimes brings tears to my eyes knowing many years ago, I was contemplating even starting a YouTube channel, and really the only reason why I even thought about it was to make the phone ring here in Knoxville. I had no idea that a gentleman like yourself in South Carolina would be watching our videos and doing it themselves. So thank you so much. It's amazing how God works to bring us together and that sort of thing. And just want to thank you. Do you have any last advice for the DIYer out there, or even those contemplating hiring someone, anything like that? Because not everybody has the opportunity to do this themselves, and they'll need to bring in a professional. So anything you can share?
I would just say evaluate the scope of the project, what's involved. Look at those videos. I mean, they're invaluable. And if you have the time, now if you got money just spilling out of your pockets, you can go ahead and hire somebody, okay? But but I would tell you, if you have some time, it is well worth the money you're going to save. And it's not like starting from scratch and recreating everything on your own, because you have the asset of Michael's videos. So if you got some time, I'd get on it, do it absolutely.
Well, thank you, Dwellin, and tell your friend thank you very much also, and look forward to hopefully maybe you get that. Did you say son-in-law or stepson to look
Stepson,
into?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see if that franchise opens up anytime soon. But I just want to thank everybody for watching, and please leave a comment below what you thought about this project, and I'll also put a link below so that you can take a look at those pictures at your own pace and learn from what Dwellin did in his own crawl space. So my name is Michael Church with Crawl Space Ninja. We hope you make it a happy and blessed day. We'll see you later.